we're back with Maria Murray and Kari Kurto from the Reading League, which I love you guys. It was great talking with you guys before. Now we're back. So we got to clear up a couple things. The reason that I do these things is because I was such a loser in school. And if
No,
all the school systems had you guys in there would be less people reading bad. And I love my teachers. I love the school system. That's why I make educational films for the last X amount of years. So, all right.
you're awesome at that, Harvey. I just have always had you in such high regard for your storytelling and all the work you do. The thousands and thousands of hours and miles and conversations you do to squeeze it down into an hour that can really change people's minds and hearts. So kudos to you.
Well, it takes a village or it takes a league. So, how did you guys? So, this compass. So in the previous episode, we've talked about how the Reading League was formed and how they came about. But now, then you guys, before this curriculum thing that you guys came up with, was the compass. So, what's the basis of the compass? What's the genesis of the compass?
Well, the genesis was when we realized, and if this is repetitive, that's okay, I hope, but that it was our realization that everything that teachers are working hard to do to improve their outcomes by um, using instruction aligned with the scientific research uh, that has, you know, been all these practices that um, have better outcomes than typical practices, right? That's what we're talking about. And whether they have vocabulary or spelling or handwriting or decoding, comprehension, you name it, is all of this work they're putting into it, changing their assessment practices, their reporting practices, their data management practices. My gosh, they're working so hard on top of everything they're already doing. All of that can disappear in a hot second if a superintendent or administrator retires
Mhm.
or goes on to a different gig, right? We've seen it over and over. We've worked with school for years that all of a sudden someone comes in and they have a different priority and it's gone. How do you make it stick? How do you ensure that every teacher who goes out on maternity or retires gets replaced by someone quickly that can be brought up to speed? So this is, as our board chair said, because she's in a school district and she's in the public school system, she goes, it is such hard work. It is hard, long work. And she goes, yet it's so easy for it all to get wrecked or disappear. It just is, it's sad. So the compass is our effort to point in the right direction, to point, give people direction, like compasses do, who need to know, like school boards better know that they're hiring better prioritize people who get this and would prioritize this. Admins, educators themselves, specialists in different school, ELEB experts, all of those, the curriculum people, all of these stakeholders are important. State ed agencies, higher ed, teacher prep programs. If they get it themselves, we stand a fighting chance to make it so that those teachers and what they're doing becomes the norm and that it won't shrink back. It's there. So
Yeah, and
that's
at
the
this point,
compass.
we are not getting support from the federal government with guidance, right? There's not a lot
Mm.
of national organizations that have the reach. I think that the Reading League is very fortunate because we have such a magnetic leader. Is that the thing? You're magnetic, you're just very passionate, and you have brought people in, and the league has brought people in so
Aw.
well that now we are so lucky to have this base that sees us as the resource to go to. And so we are using our privilege, our responsibility, uh, our position to be able to provide this national resource to help folks understand all of those aspects that they have to think about in their role to build an evidence-aligned system, right? And not just go for those low-hanging fruits, right? Like, oh, I can buy a foundational skills program. Boop, did the science of reading. No, ain't gonna work. And the compass is here to tell you that. So, that's really the intent, is to address the misconceptions and misinformation, particularly the English Learner Emergent Bilingual page. We name that we have to make sure that we uphold English learners, emergent bilingual students. In the first breath of our conversations, we have to consider their needs. We have to make sure that we are focusing on their oral language development. And at the same time, we need to address some of those misconceptions that there's not research to support how to instruct our students that are simultaneously learning the language of instruction. So it serves several purposes, but there's also other great resources out there, NCIL and the Path Forward, and there's great organizations that do this work that are so helpful for these stakeholder groups, that again, there's not a national place that curates that can help people, these stakeholder groups, understand where to go, how to think about the needs for their particular role. So those are another couple of reasons why we built the Reading League Compass.
Well, I said this before, and you guys are, you're in 33 states, today. You're going to be in 50 states at some time. And I knew you guys when you were in one or two states. But but I think what Kari said was, when I mean, I call you guys the Justice League and you guys are the Reading League, but I don't know. But I mean, but it does bring justice, and you have all of these educators, guys like Kari's story, just like your story too, Maria. Like, you guys look like, hey, wait, we could do better. But then together, in strength and numbers on this, and you have you have the credibility because you guys have walked through the fire. So I think that's why more and more people just join up there, and it is a hard thing to figure out. I mean, as a dummy parent, from the 50s or the 60s or the 70s, you open the door, you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for your kid, you give them an orange or an apple, you kick them out the door, a yellow school bus. That kid's going to learn to read over there somehow.
Yeah.
They're going to learn to read, but now, no, it's a little harder than that. Next thing you know, there's a curriculum. I thought somebody smarter knew what was going to make the decision, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. And we know in our nation of how many people aren't reading, how much it doesn't work. So if you have a magic wand and you could talk to any decision maker, any policy maker, what would you both tell this policy maker when it comes to the curriculum? I mean, you do the homework for them now, right? So what would you tell them if somebody's like, oh boy, I'm a new guy here, I'm a new person making a decision. What do I do?
I would say sit down. I'm going to punch this address into your computer and wait and while you read every word of it. So it's the readingleague.org/compass. And look, there's a compass point for you. Click on it and learn some stuff. I mean, you don't need to know everything a teacher knows, or, that's okay, or a scientist knows, okay? But you have to have these basic understandings. You just have to, or else you're going to possibly listen to a less reputable source about what you should do. And children's lives are at single, hopefully just one. Kari, what would you tell that policymaker?
I absolutely
After I'm
agree.
done with
I mean,
them.
it's all written out on the page. I will read part of the page that I think is sort of the meat and potatoes, so long as you're not a vegetarian, of the administrator page, which, if you're writing policy, ensure that policy and guidance addresses all aspects and tiers of instruction. When writing legislation, be sure to address the following: teacher and leader, professional development, and knowledge building. Knowledge first, and leaders need to participate. There is so much going on.
Hmm.
It is so hard, I understand, but if the leaders don't understand the why and the how, um, then you are not going to have as strong of a system. We have seen it time and time again in schools, buildings, districts, states. Those leaders that dive in and build knowledge along with their teachers, those are the schools that have the best outcomes. Instructional materials for tier one as well as interventions and assessments need to align to the science of reading. We need to consider all of them, right? This is not a piecemeal approach. Let's look at the whole system because they all fit together. Address educator and administrator preparation content, licensing exams that align to the science of reading and pre-service placements in classrooms that use evidence-aligned instruction. That's a huge lift for a lot of our amazing faculty and ed prep programs. When they send them out to the field, they're going into classrooms that don't have systems that align to the evidence. It's very challenging.
Yep.
Two more. One is that you need to address in policy the building of systems to support the work. And I'm saving the second to last bullet as the last bullet because I think it's really the secret sauce is that make sure that you have some sort of system to support coaching. Because if you're building knowledge, there is a very high likelihood that many teachers might then take some of, they'll keep retain some of the knowledge, that knowledge that sticks easily, but they might take the training manuals of the PD and put it on their shelf without that coach to help them make sense of it in their context. So that should, can, and must be addressed in policy itself, and it must be funded.
Wow.
Kari for president.
No thanks.
No, yeah, we can't lose you for presidency.
Well, I mean, okay, I asked, and you guys have it right there. So you have the secret sauce to,
Yep.
I mean, building knowledge in schools. Go figure. It's crazy. That,
Yeah, education and knowledge going together. It makes sense, actually. That's
well,
peanut butter and jelly.
well, what I really liked what you said too is, the person who's climbed up to that level of decision maker, policy maker, it's it's for selfish stuff. It's for their own good. But you took the words out of my mouth, Maria. That if you mess up, and once you're doing that, it's kind of like the bomb experts. Kids really make a difference in kids' lives.
Yeah.
If this kid isn't in kindergarten ready to go to first grade, or first grade ready to go to second grade, or third grade, and we know what happens by fourth grade, if the kids are behind, we got a problem. And you guys really make
Yeah.
it. You guys really make it easy, and you have to invest in your business, and you guys give them the tools to do it.
Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly what this is for. This is for all the people out there making day-to-day decisions, and how we're just so proud that we could provide a resource that puts the decision right in front of them so they don't have to go looking in multiple places. It's a one-stop first go here first. And if it's not there, that would be surprising. So, and there's more pages to come. The compass is a living organism, so to speak. There will be more pages, compass points, we call them, on the compass soon. But the newest and exciting one, Curriculum Decision Makers, is where people go to read reports on 7 of the most widely used curricula right now. And those will also grow too. More and more will be added. We hope people, if they want to engage and learn when the new reports are coming out, they should sign up for the newsletter that the Reading League has. We don't have a membership fee. Anyone can be part of the league. The more the merrier. And so we want people to be informed and know when things are coming out and share it, because how many hundreds of thousands of teachers and decision makers are there? And the more that know about it, the more in likelihood that we can all kind of get going faster to the end goal.
So you're saying a policymaker or a educator, a decision maker, they can join the league just by looking at this and saying, and they're gonna like, hey, I'm trying to figure this out. So it's always good to go to your knowledge base and talk to the other people you're working with and say, hey, I just got this. I got this pamphlet. I got this. I found this site from the Reading League, and you go to
Yeah.
it and say, and then they say, how do I become a member? And then you're like, you're already a member of the
You
Reading League.
already are.
You're already a
Yeah, I mean,
member.
obviously, people, that's how it kind of does grow. People say, well, when are they going to do this? Or when will I know? Just, you'll know when we let you know. So, um, being part of the league is just being in communication with us and sharing. That's what keeps this going. People getting excited and saying, "Hey, have you seen this? Hey,
Yep.
this is what we need."
And
And
it's all
that's
available at no cost. We're a nonprofit, so and we don't have conflicts of interests. Um, a lot of people want to say that this is funded by this political organization or that, whatever, and they make up all sorts of stories. But no, we're just all like word nerds and educators that
oh, I'm
that
glad
wanted
you
to get
said
this
that.
message out there.
I'm glad you said that, Carrie, and you said it a minute ago or so, Harvey, when you said you're all educated. I think the reason the Reading League's growing has grown and is continues to grow so much is because we aren't just one kind of expert. We're not just researchers, nothing, we aren't just parents. We aren't just anything. We are a mix. That's why the logo is designed as it is. We all have something to bear. We all have something to contribute. And so uh, that's why we don't come across as threatening or intimidating. Just we are who you are. And so I'm really proud of that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. I mean, I think it's something whose time has come. There's so much. There's there's information, then there's fake news, and there's alternate facts. Oh, like when I was a kid, we didn't have alternate facts. I don't know.
No.
You know, I just don't think we had
Alternate
alternate facts in
facts.
those days. But if you look at things and you discover things, and then you guys are discussing them with the Reading League, you can challenge your points, and the next thing you know, people are learning to read. I guess
Yeah.
reading scores are
It,
going up. Reading scores are going up, right?
yeah. They are. And in our partner districts, we're seeing we hope to have some case studies to report soon. And we're really proud of the hard work that those teachers are putting in year over year over year. So kids are coming into school and getting amazing instruction K, then in one, then in two. Can you imagine the power of that? Holy cow. If only every kid could have that. We'll get there.
Well, let us know how we can help you guys, how we can amplify your message. I mean, you guys are doing a great job anyhow, but if we can help push the rock up the hill or do whatever, however the
Anytime
analogy.
you talk to an administrator, a policymaker, anyone, just use that compass point them to the compass, and
Mm-hmm.
let us know how we can continue to help.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, what in closing? What else? What are we missing? What's the next thing? You have a. Speaking about, so now they can see you guys here, but you guys have a conference coming up when?
October,
Oct-
middle of October in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's
So
awesome.
we're in a hub city. We'll have 2,500 people joining us this year, which is incredible. It's going to be massive. And this year have, we wouldn't call them strands, we're calling them compass points. Get it? So we'll have a compass point for people that are interested in adolescent literacy or foundational literacy, ELEB, and many other compass points. So that's what we're calling our strands this year.
Well,
We have amazing keynotes by a co-presented keynote by Dr. Barbara Foreman and Dr. Linnea Airy, and then a keynote by and none other than Loretta Hammond, who is just impossible to not enjoy watching. Every slide she says, every sentence she says is gold. So can't wait for that day. I'll be front and center. Don't anybody bother me while I'm listening to her. So
Well, I can't wait, and it gets a bunch of other word nerds and new
yeah,
converts and decision makers and policy
yeah.
makers, and people will just say, you know what, I'm going, and they're all
The,
going to show
the
up. They're going to
league is convening. It's
the
the
league is
There.
convening.
convening of the league. Come around.
All right, Carrie, what else
Yeah.
in closing?
Oh gosh, thank you for the opportunity. And, we hope that our resources are useful. And as a league, we're always, happy to hear feedback or what the field needs for future projects. We're here to provide you with resources so long as they are grounded in truth and evidence.
Yay.
Bam. Well, that's
Bam.
that's great. We love you guys very much, and that's us for right now. And I can't wait to follow up and see what you guys are doing next.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Harvey.
Same
Thank
to
you,
you.
Capture Time team.
Thank you.